You let the Vox station land on Fairfield? I bet the Westport folks are feeling pretty good about their decision to stay put.
None shall stand against us! I have crimes to punish!
Join our hands in reverent chorus. Console guides us through the night. Greetings, fellow loyal citizen of the Protectorate. It is inconceivable that the Sentinels would allow a hostile into such close proximity to Central. And you did not immediately open fire on me. Well, because I was ordered to, of course. Oh, of course. My mistake. It's obviously because my commander wants it done, and has more important things to attend to personally. Because their superior officer wanted it done? Oh, I believe it's because the Sentinels have taken over many of the duties typically associated with the Arbiters. The Sentinels must not have need of these supplies and didn't want to allow them to fall into enemy hands. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Although, it's not my place to speculate. Our purpose is not to question, but to do. A mind free of thoughts cannot be corrupted. Cadets Oath, Volume 2, Chapter 3, page...
Commander, is there a reason we do not deign to enter through the main gate?
Alrighty then, it's well.
This place should be locked down and buttoned up tighter than Tristan's attitude. So weird.
You can handle it if you stay very wary, calculating the center of gravity of a shape possessing concavity, or a shape with manifold convexity. You can manage any such complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear, the concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Complexity is partially imaginary.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. Valued students of the Order of the Ascendant, recent fascinating but alarming astronomical events require your immediate and undivided cognitive attention. The main rift anomaly has undergone a sudden destabilization event, spiking in mass and activity, surging 17.2% into a web-like construct spanning 0.17 astronomical units. The geometrical math underlying this energetic intensification reshapes our understanding of exponential dynamics. No exaggeration, we will spend years analyzing this phenomenon. Yet we must suppress our curiosity for the moment. It has become clear that both the large and localized rifts have transitioned into an existential threat to the entire colony. Why our Vicar Laureate was nearly consumed by the rift's runaway expansion while on an important research excursion. He barely escaped being reduced to his constituent nucleons. Our seers predict with a 37.6% certainty that the localized rifts across Arcadia will also intensify. If you observe something, write something. citing sources and submitting for peer review, of course. Thus, we will save humanity and preserve the rifts for laboratory study, a logical course of action with no risk of mishap.
In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
We were once two separate points. We had no connection till the aim of the order gave us no
Where is everyone?
direction.
Attention IRC staff. Please head inside for an important announcement from the console. Attendance is mandatory.
Announcements are seldom so pressing that everyone must leave their posts. I find myself wary.
Yet in such close proximity. And then one day our eyes did meet, and fate set into motion that telltale surge of dopamine and increased oxytocin, so adrift within a flood of hormonal flirtation. I shall share with you now.
Punitive action!
Verify before we amplify. Drink Maxima alcohol-free liquor.
The other brands may be 80 proof, but ours has 80. One printed on each label. Collect and study them all.
From the Order of the Ascendant. A roguish comical remark discovered a... Antis Choice and the Protectorate both count.
Irrationality is good for the workforce. How can that be? How can that be? Infinite, a measure of mystery, unveils the key to logic's asymmetry. How can one thing that you must profess: irrationality is a part of our progress. How can that be? How can that be? Using pi, another without end, evokes a result correct in the dividend. Accept it, and you can plainly see. A positive externality. A positive externality. A positive externality. One thing you can plainly see. Accept it in this infinity. Can it be a positive externality? One thing, the irrational try. Accept it.
I shall not stay your execution.
Explanation. How can that be?
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
That went out to all our friends in the Office of Hindrance Deterrence and Obviation. Keep on. Those pivotal impediments won't preclude themselves.
And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Function f to the n equaling our starting zen. Function fn minus 1 plus the fn minus 2. In all cases that means starting where n is so low. Now you know just what to do. Starting cycle, here's the cue. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrent relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from ladder above. Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so right and arcing in a circle motion, giving squares perfect quotient 0, 1, 1, and again 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34. We're counting through.
Due to an anomalous event, the interstitial hall and exhibition tower is off limits for the foreseeable future to any and all non-essential personnel. All requests to view the prototype rift anomaly modulator are hereby
It's
suspended for the time being.
Fibonacci, a
Please turn
sequence
all
largely
queries and petitions to the lead researcher's office.
define the recurrent relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber of RC. The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence in which each number is the sum of the two preceding ones. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 1, 44, and so on and so forth. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing two preceding numbers gives us the graph that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. Preceding numbers gives us the graph that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber of RC.
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music. As foretold by tenured seers and our own programming schedule, it is time for another...
I can't wait to get our hands on that modulator. To be able to actually manipulate a rift. I can't believe it.
What is the difference between the Protectorate's paradigm and our grand plan? Vicar, enlighten this layperson if you please.
Why not ask the difference between a raindrop in the sea? Or the vacuum of a fusion and the core of a sun? Our grand plan is everything. Microwave, E-waves, uranium. Every atomic particle in the universe and its motion. Look at the lens. We saw the universe in the It's nothing. A void. Calling it hot air lends it too much validation. What else would you expect from the Protectorate? Those adept assemblers. They have rewritten their history, edited their old media reports, erasing all praise for their instrumental contributions to their success. They've substituted facts with their subject-pacifying fiction, and so the burden of truth has fallen upon our broad shoulders.
Subjects,
without truth,
listen well.
there will be no path to ascension.
Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infinite wisdom, submitted himself to mental refreshment, to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly. For I address you today not as the consul, nor even as your new leader, which I am, but as a simple man who wants nothing more than to defend his home and his neighbors.
The Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers.
That's impossible.
Uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial mnemonistics for those new to the order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I've also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is, given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set N2, then a prime is any number in the set N2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set N2. A simple definition. Elegant, even uplifting. Almost a
yourself was sovereign.
But
I shall reduce them to...
I am frequently asked, why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is because with such an introduction to the definition of a number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask?
Maintaining
what good
perfection.
are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them. But there are also, how should I say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit
The Protectorate
In fact,
endures.
our archive uses primes for that reason, and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of databanks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numismatics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this: is every even member of the set N2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next tenured laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all, and good day.
Arbiter, I know I do not have leave to access these security files, but I can assure you, my intentions are in service to the Protectorate.
At ease, subject. I've no business with you.
Then, does your arrival have something to do with the commotion I heard just now? Are we under attack by the enemy?
Best salt substitute from the Order of the Ascendant. Humorous hot beverage.
Looking for proof. There was an incident recently, and I believe our head of security is neglecting his duty to investigate. So it is my duty to report him.
Of course. Tell me of these security lapses.
Albin Valancourt is the sentinel charged with supervising this facility and all its researchers. Unfortunately, he's a punitive man who delights in the wretchedness of others. I recommend he be replaced until such time as his behavior has received proper scrutiny and subsequent correction.
I'd be happy to permanently correct his behavior.
Do I know you? Your voice sounds strikingly familiar.
I don't think... I mean, definitely not. You must be mistaken.
I remind you that I am in no way beholden to your recommendations, subject. Whether or not your compatriot receives correction is up to my discretion alone.
Oh, of course. Should you require further data points for your assessment, however, I would most dutifully provide them, including my version of the recent incident. Unless your lamps have oxidized, you must have noticed my arm. I lost it saving the Sovereign from a rift experiment gone wrong. An experiment I was in charge of, naturally. Valancourt supplied my name for the reports, incriminating me in the eyes of my colleagues. And since he's closed off that wing of the lab, I can't prove my innocence. Oh, I understand now. This is a security assessment, hence the presence of an arbiter. I can certainly help expose the facility's failure points for you. In exchange, I hope you will assist me in delving into the cause of the rift incident. We'll just need Valancourt's keycard to access the restricted wing.
Regardless of our new state of affairs, anything that threatened the Sovereign's safety must be thoroughly investigated. Even this Valancourt should see that.
I cannot assist in acquisition, but once you take the prototype, it will trigger an immediate lockdown. I can facilitate your exit from the facility should you face any difficulties from Valancourt. After we conclude our investigation, of course. That modulator will be necessary to unfold the rift and find the evidence I need. The kind that proves I did not dishonor myself by making a mistake, and that the cause of the disaster was due to someone else's malfeasance, deliberate or otherwise. The prototype rift modulator is currently in Interstitial Hall at the top of Exhibition Tower. There's a lift in the next room over that can take you directly there. Once you have the prototype, make your way to Valancourt's quarters. Be cautious. The guards of this facility will attack anyone unfamiliar to them. But once you have the keycard and rift device, reconvene here, and we'll go together to the wing. I've already shared more with you than I ought have, but go ahead. That's an ugly way to describe a legitimate transfer of power. And if you're trying to bait me into expressing an opinion of my superiors, I assure you I will not. The Interstitial Reconfiguration Center was created to continue researching into rifts, following a significant setback to our studies elsewhere. How do you know about that? That disaster and its link to the death of the Sovereign's family was not made public, regardless. Even though Horizon Point's destruction did impede our progress for a time, we learned from it as well. We're now able to or we were. Due to the exacerbation of the greater rift recently, these lesser rifts became less stable. Some breaking containment or spawning outside. In public, Henry has adopted the affectations of his father. In private, he is much more personable. He becomes most animated when we discuss how matter might be reconstituted from the rifts. What was lost somehow returned. You could say he and the consul wore coats cut from the same stern cloth. Henry has never quite matched either of them. His motivations are personal. All I am willing to say is that he is a man who loved his family very much.
Flourished under the Sovereign's rule, but the consul would see it rooted out, punishable by death or exile, purged completely. A totalitarian palate that does not pair well with scientism's rich bouquet. Which brings me to data point 3. Without the plan or interpretation of it, his regime's duration will not exceed 3.7 years. Please mark my words for later fact-checking. Addendum, I present this excerpt from a recent Protectorate broadcast, presented sans context to maximize listener reaction.
I will only be torturing the Sovereign subjects.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
What?
And eventual control of the purple-berry parasite. OA archive transcription number 3918-4 begins here. Record my...
How long is the weapon?
Taking punitive action!
Pushing ahead!
Irresponsible spread of the purple-berry parasite by Auntie's choice and its
Enemy
numerous
operative.
subsidiaries and former supernumerary, although that's a different lecture. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and
We'll find him. Sure as
until
eggs.
basic preventative measures were put in place after illness-related costs exceeded corporate profits. As is usual for Auntie's choice. The purple-berry parasite infects nearly 100% of all purple-berry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic reactor. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purple-berry plant was subsequently spread throughout colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's Choice.
Strange. Though I'm wary of engaging with these anomalies, it's possible there may be something worthwhile within.
So I will just refer to them as Auntie's Choice going forward. Let me transmit my more visual purpleberry plant was at
Each
first
a vital
thought to
cog.
be poison, as the early colonists eating its berries died from the most potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Auntie's Choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies.
A rift anomaly modulator. Oh, they still my heart.
Related testing
To
by
interact with the
Auntie's
rifts will be to
Choice's
touch
unlettered
perfection.
scientists showed that the berries instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the purpleberry parasite, or PBP, as it is colloquially called in Auntie's Choice's records. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. Let's examine the PBP life cycle in detail. After an infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes, which trigger their hatching. These parasites enter their second stage as spiky, worm-like creatures with outsized, pincer-like mandibles, which then proceed to feed on the host's ingesting tissue and blood along the entire intestinal tract.
Use the modulator to open the rift. It may provide your only avenue for escape.
Approximately 2 centimeters in length, and they then seek out nearby purpleberry plants to lay their eggs in the ripening purpleberries. And I should add that the plants are well fertilized in this entire process. Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested purpleberry seeds, the distribution of the plants is increased, helping infected purpleberry plants to spread farther
the unsubtle
and grow better than uninfected
Yes,
ones.
you with the rift
Perhaps
modulator.
unsurprisingly,
I've made the
Paris
intercom
Auntie's
available
Choice
to you.
scientists
Avail
mislabeled this
yourself
case
of it.
obvious symbiosis.
It's not every
given how
day
both
that
the
someone
purpleberry
is
plant
fool
and its
enough to
parasite
break into
are
the
benefited
interstitial
by their
reconfiguration center,
as a
aided and
parasitical
abetted by one of our
relationship.
very own arbiters, no
initial
less.
classification
I'd be
error,
obliged
it's
if
a
you would
wonder the
regale me
Auntie's
with the
Choice
tale of
scientists
how you
managed
managed to
ascertain
get
any
this far.
subsequent safeguards at all. After some additional casualties, plodding Auntie's Choice field researchers discovered that co-native planetary fauna was well adapted
Oh, really?
to the parasite, and
Which
hardly
one?
affected by it to any large amount. But human colonists were not so fortunate. The PBP worms disrupted the human
Act
internal
glib if you
biome
like.
to such a degree
All you've done is
that the
illustrate the
eventual
need for more
correspondingly
invasive
large
auditing
immune
of my
response leads to
personnel.
violently
I'll be sure to
explosive
inform them of
diarrhea,
your role in that
resulting in the
unpleasantness.
expelling of the worms,
Well, there will be
berries,
time to
and
scrutinize
most
every
of the
angle of this
person's
breach at a later
gastrointestinal
date,
tract.
once I have dealt
Human
with you.
casualty rates were close to 100%, even when
Does such
reluctantly given
bravado,
medical
so be it.
attention by Auntie's
We can
Choice
forgo
doctors,
civilities.
who were more concerned with upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as their
Serve the console.
for the dying patient, except possibly smoothing away stubborn wrinkles, according to product literature. However, given the purpleberry's non-zero nutritional value and low growing costs, impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed their labs to find ways to remove the parasite from the berry. A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purpleberries, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found not in a lab, but in a history book. Specifically, a history text on Saltuna, a crossbreed of 2 different earth fish species called salmon and tuna, was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon.
Invasive!
90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites. Freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat killed the embedded parasites. A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PBP eggs, although without quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berries without affecting their texture or flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small
Unfriendly
to be seen
company.
or felt
They're
by
mine.
the unaided eyes and
Remember that time the Sovereign caught us comparing pitchball cards? He was so excited about you having that vintage foil of his favorite Sovereign slugger.
That was ages ago. I'm a Protectors of Piety fan now.
Isn't that the console's favorite team?
Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purple-berry-themed foods
under
and
the guidance of our
beverages, all of them
beneficent ruler,
mislabeled
the Sovereign.
parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free.
Rather.
For their customers, for nature, and for any pretense of safety. Another reason this documentarian is grateful for our orders fabricated nutritional foodstuffs. OA archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant
Don't be reluctant to
informational
unfold
details
any
from
risks you
present
come across
and
using
future
the modulator.
calculations.
They may eject something useful to you.
Warmest courtesies, fellow sentence. Please collaborate in ponderance of our former colleagues.
You must keep your blood within, Commander!
Is intellectually lazy. They are a subjugated population, incurious, cognitively atrophied. What horror. The Protectorate overseers have much to answer for. Lest you forget why we parted professional ways, they pacify their subjects. Correction. They stupefy them with depressive pharmaceutics and relentless propaganda, unlike us. Our sum is greater than our parts. We collaborate with unforced enthusiasm for scientists, and of course to avoid our strange colleagues now pit neighbor against neighbor, reporting one another for nothing more egregious than independent thought. Of this we have ample evidence. Protectorate rank and file have washed upon our shores, sputtering testimonials of so-called mental refreshment, a process wherein citizenry undergo chemical thought suppression. In a praetor fortress dedicated to this insidious purpose, they emerge more intellectually docile than the subjects. Such deplorable practices have spurred some to action. A Protectorate support group on Free Market Station seeks to rehabilitate the mentally reformed. Free Market Station is hosting a training.
You suppose there's been another incident? Like the one with the Sovereign?
Prosecuting!
Promise of the paradigm with the
I repudiate breaking for cover!
Evaluations were durable.
Also predicted to have 3 well-liked members and become allergic to water this year. Warmest courtesies, fellow sentence. Please collaborate in ponderance of our former Protectorate colleagues, to consider them simply as adversaries.
I shall not stay your execution!
The Protectorate overseers have much to answer for, lest you forget why we parted professional
That
ways.
odd rift. Well, odder than usual. Remained unopened. I admit to some amount of curiosity as to its contents.
Unlike us, our sum is greater than our parts. We collaborate with unforced enthusiasm for scientism, and of course to avoid undue criticism of our theses at peer review. Our estranged colleagues, meanwhile, pit neighbor against neighbor, reporting one another for nothing more egregious than independent thought. Of this we have ample evidence. Protectorate rank and file have washed upon our shores sputtering testimonials of so-called mental refreshment, a process wherein citizenry undergo chemical thought suppression. In a praetor fortress dedicated to this insidious purpose, they emerge more intellectually docile than when they entered, perfect protectorate subjects. Such deplorable practices have spurred some to action. A protectorate support group on Free Market Station seeks to rehabilitate the mentally refreshed. Free Market Station is hosting a training group to help ex-protectorate subjects think for themselves, make them productive members of a true society. We should welcome them back, our former colleagues, replace the empty promise of the paradigm with the verifiable veracity of the universal equation.
So ends this missive.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
The spread, illnesses, and eventual control of the purple berry parasite. OA archive transcription number 39184 begins. Hello. For the record, my name is Marie de Rothschild, Junior Archivist, Class 4 of the Archive. Today I would like to talk about irresponsible spread of the purple berry parasite by Auntie's Choice and its numerous subsidiaries.
Incident? Like the one with the Sovereign?
No. It seems we may have been intruded upon during the Consul's announcement. I heard it from one of Valancourt's men. An outsider, apparently. Violent.
How ghastly. Well, Valancourt no doubt has it in hand. Perhaps this will take some of his edge off and he'll let us alone after.
A hypothesis that does not hold much water, I fear.
The purple berry parasite infects nearly 100% of all purple berry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic collectives. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purple berry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's Choice. Honestly, these corporate interactions make little sense to me, as they mostly amount to relabeling assets and changing letterhead and mascot cartoons. So I would just refer to them as Auntie's Choice going forward. Even though that may offend some of my more neutral-minded colleagues.
It's over. Huh? There?
Required from a corporate perspective. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unleaded science. Instead, they were a microscopic parasite, the purple parasite, or PBP, as it is colloquially called in Auntie's Choice. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of Let's examine the PBP life cycle in detail. After an infected berry is the microscopic eggs inside the berries are
Target reacquired,
which trigger their hatching. These parasites enter their second stage as spiky worm-like creatures with outsized pincer-like mandibles, which then proceed to feed on the host directly, ingesting tissue and blood along the entire intestinal tract. These worms are eventually expelled when they reach a size of approximately 2 centimeters in length, and they then seek out nearby purple
maintaining perfection
in the ripening purple berries. And I should add that the plants are as well fertilized in this entire process. Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested purpleberry seeds, the distribution of the plants is increased, helping infected purpleberry plants to spread farther and grow better than uninfected ones. Perhaps unsurprisingly, careless Auntie's Choice scientists mislabeled this case of obvious, given how both the purpleberry plant and the parasite are benefited by the relationship.
Having that device nabbed on his watch nigh guarantees Valancourt a long stay and mental refreshment. If he is not...
Should he ever amass the courage to confront me in the flesh,
Of course. An arbiter's judgment is always sound.
Additional casualties, plotting Auntie's
It's
Choice
sure to be in
researchers
Valancourt's
discovered
quarters.
that
While you're there,
planetary
remember to
fauna
check
was
his
well adapted to the parasite and hardly affected by it to any level. But human colonists were not so fortunate. The PvP worms disrupted the human internal biome to such a degree that the eventual correspondingly large immune response leads to violently explosive diarrhea, resulting in the expelling of the worms, the berries, and most of the person's gastrointestinal tract. Human casualty rates were close to 100%, even when reluctantly given medical attention by Auntie's Choice doctors, who were more concerned with upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as their antibiotics, a topical cream that offers no benefit to the dying patient, except possibly stubborn wrinkles.
This office is more immaculate than my quarters. I have found that the tidiest spaces often belie
nutritional value and low growing costs. Impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed them to find ways to remove the parasite from the berry. A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purple berries, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found not in a lab, but in a history book. Specifically, a history text on Saltuna, a crossbreed of two different earth fish species called salmon and tuna, was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites: freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat killed the embedded parasites.
Giving chase.
A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PvP eggs,
never made
although
anybody
without
happy.
quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berries without affecting their texture or flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their colleagues. Choice administrators were satisfied with this inept solution. Purple berries are now a common nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the colony world. Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt for their customers, for nature, and for any pretense of safety. Another reason this documentarian is grateful for our
The Protectorate endures.
nutritional foodstuffs. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
Through his beneficent guidance.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically veracious statements
Restoring the
regarding
balance.
products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
Leftover Spratwurst, wilted lettuce, spoiled mayonnaise? Don't eat yesterday's sandwich. Instead, enjoy Cultured Banquet.
What's your
a
purpose
100%
here?
fabricated meal. The consummation of consumption.
From the Order of the Ascendant.
Hell, reprobate. To whatever.
In ease-setting witticism to confer to colleagues at break time, the universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own problems. Next out. Well, the seers among you already know.
They manufacture one.
We shall stay their ambitions.
You have an update, I hope. Matriarch's blessings on you. Let's not waste time then. I'll lead us to the restricted wing now. Once there, reopen the rift using the modulator, so we can begin searching for clues. There's the sorry excuse of interstitial reconfigurating matter that claimed my arm. Let's open the hood, shall we? Rifts reconstitute matter in an imprecise manner. But use your imagination to conjure the original.
Send in your proof. Don't wait for later.
Original scene that could
Lost your tears. You've dotted your eyes. The only
lead us to the evidence we need.
is publicized. Quickly elucidate and demonstrate. QED. Get to the point and do not vacillate. Get to the point and do not vacillate.
You've discovered something.
Listening to Grand Plan Wireless for transpiring events, philosophical.
I knew it! I am absolved. And yet, I cannot possibly imagine what would have possessed him to deliberately endanger the Sovereign's life. It's unconscionable. I would characterize Valancourt as many vile and unmentionable things, but a traitor? No. The man cannot defecate without humming a Protectorate anthem.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us.
For all the time I've spent trying to unsnarl Valancourt's mercurial behavior, it seems there was yet more I did not know about him. I think I'm beginning to understand exactly what happened here. But if you have any additional points of data, please share them. I think I can formulate my own conclusion. Our dear head of security has much to answer for. We need to go and confront Valancourt, now. I'm no longer willing to wait for the arc of justice to bend in my favor. Valancourt needs to die for what he's done. The kind that buys you time to do what you need to. If we can find a way to isolate Valancourt from his forces, he will be much easier to... I'll go first, follow behind, but not too closely. I'll keep Valancourt talking so that you can get a good angle on him, but his patience... Oh, And there's also a rift in the hangar. An experimental byproduct, as it were. I would avoid...
Dr. Hurley, pleasant as I find your company, I must ask you to vacate the area at once. I'm preparing our defenses against an intruder.
Hold the pleasantries, Valancourt. I know you sabotaged the experiment that nearly killed me and the Sovereign. I have the proof.
Calm yourself, Doctor. Such a belligerent tone is unbecoming from one of your profession.
Don't tell me to calm down, you traitorous worm. You attempted to assassinate the Sovereign, and don't dare deny it.
For you to have discovered that, you'd have needed to reopen the rift.
Control. The Sentinels should know one of their own has gone rogue.
Oh, shall I quake and quiver? Your threats are wasted air. We Sentinels are now empowered to act extrajudiciously. I was merely taking initiative. It matters not if the Consul failed to recognize my foresight at the time. All came to right in the end, now that simpleton Varric is off the throne. You've turned into such a disappointment, Sophia. First, you blunder my perfect plan with your disgusting heroism. And now you conspire with outsiders.
That outsider barely needed my help. Of the two of us, clearly it is you whose job efficacy has most deteriorated.
Bold of you to assume I don't have everything under control. Or did you think I'm the authority? You've denied me this flank long enough. Guard! Commander! See to this intruder with extreme prejudice! Guard! Fine, no matter. Pleasant as I find your company, I must ask you to vacate the area at once. I'm preparing our defenses against an intruder.
Hold the pleasantries, Valancourt. I know you sabotaged the experiment that nearly killed me and the Sovereign. I have the proof.
Calm yourself, Doctor. Such a belligerent tone is unbecoming from one of your profession.
Don't tell me to calm down, you traitorous worm. You attempted to assassinate the Sovereign, and don't dare deny it.
For you to have discovered that, you'd have needed to reopen the rift. You're collaborating with the thief, aren't you? Oh, Doctor. Big mistake.
I'm going to report you to Central Control. The Sentinels should know one of their own has gone rogue.
Oh, shall I quake and quiver? Threats are wasted air. We Sentinels are now empowered to act extrajudiciously. I was merely taking initiative. It matters not if the Consul failed to recognize my foresight at the time. All came to right in the end, now that simpleton Varric is off the throne. You've turned into such a disappointment, Sophia. Ah, here's our little sprat now. Be assured, after I deal with my traitorous subordinate here, your guard! See to this intruder with extreme prejudice! Go! Your final blast!
Forever always
prosecute!
That is the breath of my heart.
broadcasting cognitive resonance across Arcadia, this is Grand Plan Wireless. Because reason never goes out of season, it's time for another administration of relatable enlightenment with Ask a Vicar, featuring focus on quantity over qualitative analysis with an accelerated round of brief layperson inquiries, starting with, does the Order know the outcome of this war?
Of course we do. But such knowledge cannot be shared with the general public or broadcast publicly. Such an action would shift the equation into new mode. Might introduce ancillary expressions that would invalidate our original solution. The mention of these
Thus
topics...
always to traitors. Morale will certainly improve in the lab now, I should think, provided Valancourt's replacement is not also an absolute pilgarlic.
If Valancourt's replacement is anything other than routinely amiable, I shall return and bludgeon them within an inch of their life. Mark my word.
I had prepared this trauma kit, but obviously that turned out to be an unnecessary precaution. Please, take it with my gratitude.
As soon as possible. Any more questions?
Yes, Vicar, because research shows...
I'm not sure murdering the head of security at a highly valued research facility makes the argument you... Have no fear. No evidence of our little...
She's dead. Okay, great query and answer session, everyone. As your plain-speaking, relatable vicar, I'm always happy to fill your day with 2.5% more practical knowledge. If you're feeling anxious about things, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present. Every moment.
Now that you have the rift modulator, any previously inaccessible rifts could be worth revisiting. Rifts may contain useful equipment and resources. However, due to the chaotic nature of reconstitution, some creative problem solving may be required in reaching them.
Accept a hunch or feeling, an idea based on intuition. Prove it, yes you must prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, just deduce it. A proof is a deducible argument that removes any confusion for a mathematical equation, logically guaranteeing the conclusion, using inference and logic to cover all the bases, and with reason and deduction, so it's always true in all possible cases.
Protectorate personnel, only beyond this point. Leave immediately. If you are not of the Protectorate, you are this unit's enemy, preparing to unleash disproportionate amount of ammunition on unresponsive bystander.
The sum of two even numbers, this you can believe in. The sum of two even numbers always comes out even. A proof, a very proven proof. That is how it works. That's a basic proof. Can you give another one more basic proof? When a triangle exists with an angle that is right, square their shorter sides, shorter based on height. The sum of those squares will always be of use as the square of the longest
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. And now presenting the Department of Research and Inquiry's analysis of our Arcadian cohabitators, specifically Auntie's Choice, with a focus on their shortcomings. It is a straightforward thesis. A corporate transactional society inevitably suffers from dissatisfaction and fracturing among the population. For empirical evidence, Exhibit A, their product refinement center and chemical plant on Praetor, occupied early in the corporate incursion of the inhospitable Elysium moon, ostensibly to create sufficient essential materials, lubricants, additives, skincare products, to feed their war effort and appease the superficial wants of their citizenry. Every new consumable must represent a 110% improvement over the previous.
Adjutant, sir.
An insulting
The smell of burning raptidons is rather pungent. Are there any concerns in regards to attracting further raptidons?
Good question, Warden. Command has informed me that the brutes will instinctively be repelled by the scent of their burning kin. Rest easy in that regard.
The Product Refinement Center is plagued by disgruntlement. A splinter group has threatened a work stoppage over unfair treatment. Basic biological needs, such as urination, is transactionalized. Such inefficiency. Production is at a standstill, and rightly so. Only the negotiating expertise of the inefficiency. The corporatists claim their mission statement is the pursuit of self-betterment. In reality, their cutthroat practices and slipshod production methods will only lead to further fracturing and unhappiness, predicted with a 49.7% certainty. Predicted with a 49.7% certainty. Source references, footnotes, and appendices for this analysis will be provided upon request.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions." Oh. That apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictor.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Otisgard replied, no hesitation, beige. To experienced lunar astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. No, it wouldn't. Absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary of why there are no dream stars. You must understand the basics of the non-heat absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that
I am loath to admit I require.
However, stellar objects generate radiation that may have can be modeled as absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in.
Those fools! Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a The only explanation is that they were lackeys of the console. Why else would they engage someone such as myself without expecting reprisal?
Through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the
Group psychoses have never been present throughout the Protectorate before. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence.
Stars, you wonder. I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves. But if I must... It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition would constitute evidence for intelligent interference, and no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Oudescar, the famous stellar photographer. The methodology of the Oudescar chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is near 9%, and the value is a full 100. While the color tends towards black, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone.
Ready to dispense!
And as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify.
To get you going in the morning.
And these cowards won't even fight us.
Enemy spotted.
Withdraw. I mean, paint to green. Re-rotate.
We take you to the ice moon of Cloister.
VP of Xenobiological Exploitation. For the past fiscal year, I've been on a profit safari across the Arcadia system, helping everyone from lower management to members of the board tap into
Feel that?
planets.
You can tell the tower's recalibrated by the static in the air.
I focus on a different species to tell you the risks. Ah, watch out for its tusk! Now this and what each animal brings to the table. The universe is full of things that want to kill you, but what doesn't kill you boosts your net worth. This is Big Gain Hunter. Brought to you by Auntie's Choice Immunosol, the right multi-spectrum antibiotics for wildlife interactions gone wrong. I'm freezing my assets off on Cloister, a law-forsaken snowball orbiting Elysium. Everyone knows Cloister's home to the computronic powerhouse known as the Archive. But that ain't the only profit driver here. There, beyond the boss, a herd of ursopods. Their hides, heads, and claws are as tough as the tundra. Cautious but feisty, bearish and bullish. Best keep your distance. Ursopods get awfully scratchy up close, although some can spit a nasty wad of mucus if provoked from afar. Uh-oh, they've taken an interest in me. Ursopods are resistant to the cold. Invest in a good plasma weapon if you attempt acquisition. Blasted fingers are about to freeze off. Why didn't anyone on my staff tell me an ice moon would be so cold? They're charging! Get them off me! Get them off! Security team, shoot them! Merciful law, what am I paying you for? Okay, I'm okay. Let's move on to liquidation. Probably the most valuable part of an ursopod is its teeth. Durable, all-purpose, in high demand for crafting applications. Unfortunately, not much else worth leveraging from these creatures. Sure, you can scoop up their thinking parts, sell it for scrap, or break it down for biomass. Do not eat. That should go without saying. Not unless you want to spray the rocks with biomass. Well, that's all for now. Join me next time as we exploit another habitat. Preferably one more tropical, where I can stick a little umbrella in my Anti-Fizzo's Num Rum. Until then, bottoms up to your bottom line.
What say we change the subject? This is one of my favorites, though admittedly I'm far from discerning.
Sleep tight with sweet dreams. You're gonna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. They ought to tell you there's a side element or two.
Apoplex.
Disruptive influence. Supposed to shoot the enemy.
Bloody flux. Decrepitude. Night terrors. Mania. Day terrors. Melancholia.
Sleep tight with sweet dreams. You're gonna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. One more interlude, additional ailments include
Chronic itch. Inflammation. Night sweats. Flatulation. Lumbago. Mild days. Scrumpox. General malaise. Imbalanced humors. Dyspepsia. Oh, and one more thing. Insomnia.
Just grab a pill, it's easy. Just rest your tired head. With the sedative, you'll feel dead. Sleep tight with sweet dreams. You wanna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy. Just grab a pill, it's easy. Just rest your tired head. With the sedative, you'll feel dead. Sleep tight with sweet dreams.
Run, don't walk to spend your hard-earned bits on these quality Antes goods or services. Say, you've got your alien-planting corollary in my invasive species fish paste.
You're a rugged, spacefaring frontiers person type. Try it, despite the countless voices screaming in your head not to.
Oh, it's like sour milk and expired medicine. Yet despite this balefully rebarbative mouthfeel, I feel great!
Everyone knows salubrious concoctions aren't supposed to taste good. That's how you know.
Nano Restorative Elixir. Additional health benefits, none of the delicious taste. New from Auntie's Choice. Where nature ends, we begin. Right. Moving on. This
Lethal! You're hurt!
Listening to Wireless Free Arcadia for music, entertainment, and the latest from the front line. Sponsored by Auntie's Choice, improving lives through unfettered free trade and unbridled self-betterment. Fellow workers, you know full well that Wireless Free Arcadia always broadcasts in good faith. We're a source of unvarnished truthfulness. These airwaves are a no-humbuggery zone, and so you've no reason to doubt the following business update on the Product Refinement Center, jewel of our portfolio. Its output of essential additives and cosmetics in every way justifies the cost of lives and resources expended in our hostile takeover from those invasive elements. Any rumors you might hear of working conditions have never been more luxurious. What more could anyone want? The Refinement Center is currently at peak operation, churning out a host of new and improved formulations. Soon, the Anti-Cleo and Pals will taste 20% crabbier. Also, your industrial lubricants will taste 20% crabbier. Our merger with Spacer's Choice in Tau Ceti was a win-win for all parties. Not to mention legally binding and completely above board. Anyone who says otherwise is selling you a bill of goods. No one would complain if they fell out of an airlock. Happens all the time. Unfettered trade is a risky business. Now, on to other things. Next up, something reasonably peppy. Please consult your employee handbook to determine if dancing is presently allowed.
I'm yearning and yearning for you. My heart and every last bit of my way.
I shall not stay your execution.
Every last bit that I'm paid, every last bit that I save is intended for you.
They're beyond my range.
Although the cost.
On the risk. Step aside. Swine.
One day
I am primed to punish.
Now I'll take one that's brand new, 'cause I'm yearning and burning for you.
To the complicit!
It stings. A lot. Oh.
Although the cost may be high.
To battle!
Malefactor ahead. Commander's almost back.
At your word, I shall charge!
I've been
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Come on. Not who have ever been greatly fond of lurkers. You'll know you were in a fight. No party shall dither, hither and yon.
You're tuned to Free Arcadia, the best sliced breadworm. Now with 110% music, entertainment, news, and product placement. When we here at Wireless Free Arcadia make on-air misstatements, we own up to it sometimes. Like right now, in this batch of corrections. In last Sunday's weekend P&L report for the previous Saturday, we inadvertently misquoted a junior VP of conveyor sprocket lubrication
Commander,
and maintenance.
you attacked my fellows when they have nary raised a hand against you. Were you defending yourself, I could perhaps understand, but you assail the innocent. Explain yourself.
Human error. Moving on. A recent report on the
An apology cannot breathe life back into the dead. Know this. Should any unbidden violence occur on your part toward...
Correction! Sprats Up actually contains real Sprat flavorings. Still a mite tangy, though. That part's 110% correct. Okay, enough corrections. So we made a few mistakes. No need to keep harping on them for law's sake. Now, on to other things. This is for anyone out there who just lost out on a big promotion. Next time.
Rightly so. Some agitators! Hopped up on sugar, no doubt.
Enemy spot.
Sprite crisp, 1000% germ free. Cause nothing survives when it's flash fried at 405 degrees.
Security level. Plasma tolerance exceeded.
That was certainly asinine.
Taking punitive action. I've eyes.
Auntie's Choice Chum Bar is a delicious new food-adjacent snack from the makers of meaty roll-ups and Spectrum leavings.
The Chum Bar is made from the finest coagulated slurry of both animal and vegetable byproducts.
Including but not limited to borscht entrails, spread organs, salt tuna skin, nanner peels, and tobacco husks for the perfect combination of crunchy and chewy.
Try it today.
And buy an extra bar to share with a chum.
Fine. Let us proceed.
Now, here's a song to take your mind off your worries. Unless you're being hunted by a pack of raptidons or some such.
There was a lonesome boy with the happiest frown, whose love spun around when he came to town. A marketeer who spotted a kid with nothing to lose, offered the boy a deal that he couldn't refuse. Yes, and he welcomes you with arms open wide, and all you gotta do is sign the dotted line. The boy signed up and didn't hesitate. Anything to win him of his papa's faith. The marketeer said, okay, we'll start right away. The first year's treatment, no one getting your way. No rules, no oversight, no ethics to abide. The only thing that matters is the bottom line. You buy low, you sell high, you profit more. You cut the cost, you raise the price, the profit soar. The joy of blazing fair. Oh, you know it well. Make an antique proud. Well, wouldn't that be swell?
This might sting. A lot. Step aside.
You see a target I do not? Prepare!
Step aside.
with impeccable style, the perfect poster boy. Oh, can't you see? Yes, he is a tribute to anti-family. And if it worked for him, then it can work for you. You could be the next anti-family nephew. Cause you raise your prices, profits soar. The joy of laissez-faire. Oh, you know it well. Make an antique proud, well, would it?
I shall reduce them to a slurry!
Evaluations reduced. I will restore my life or avenge my death.
I'm loath to admit, I require medical assistance. Oh, you know it well. Make an antique proud, well, would it that be swell? Taking punitive action. Make an antique proud, would it that be swell?
I will restore my life or avenge my death.
Ready to dispense judgment.
And prevailing conditions on the battlefield. Brought to you by Auntie's Choice.
I despise asking for aid, and yet I must.
It's Auntie's Choice.
Better Eden, where the skilled rise. Why settle when you can thrive? And this month's factory technician, third-class genius, who submitted the following audio recording. Congratulations, Janie. You and your family win a full year's supply of forced pockets for one low price. Okay, back to business. This one reminds me of the morning we drove the Protectorate from Fairfield. A good day for personal freedom and fair trade.
Hey, you there! Need a smoke that distinguishes you from the average oak? Well, look no further. Wow, that's large! It's the only cigar that says I'm in charge. It's an uncle. When they come, they shout. Perchance a glance at me with these. They know that I'm a VIP. It's a Westwood stout, and it says with pride that I'm one top bonafide. In any crowd, I'm sure to stand out with an equal with a velvet stout.
Feel that? You can tell the tower's recalibrated by the static in the air.
Says you're who's who, and the smell is just
Sure
goes
can.
out to the dedicated employees of the Aggressive Acquisitions Department. Lost speed to all you brave soldiers fighting on behalf of individual freedom and personal responsibility. Alrighty then, it's well past time for more merry melodies.
I shall not stay your execution.
Top from that first smooth inhale.
Either a storm?
Your finals look grim, Commander.
Try bubblegum slims, try bubblegum slims. It's the long slim smoke with the bubblegum filter. It's 2 treats in 1, a double thriller. So happy while your satisfaction doubles. No boring old smoke rings, you'll at home or at work, buy the pack or the case. It's the bubblegum that
Maintaining perfection.
That's Uncle Wentworth, Belvedere, Uncle Wentworth, Belvedere Stone.
You're tuned
Find my
to
next victim.
wireless
I mean, a hostile
Arcadia for merry melodies.
I shall refuse.
Failing Auntie's choice.
She's just the best choice. It's Auntie's choice.
Building a better Eden.
Choice.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
And you need 10 flavors of free.
Every autonomous consumer needs both. I can't believe it's not
Say frozen, dried, smoked, and canned glaze.
Be free!
Be free. Auntie's choice.
Hey, back to business. We drove the Protectorate from Fairfield. A good day for personal freedom and fair trade.
You're gonna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. I tell you there's a side
Childhood gout. Adult rickets. Dysentery. Winds of moon.
None of you have ever been greatly
Bloody
fond of
flux.
lurkers.
Decrepitude.
Better take a gander.
Let me walk on over there, huh?
Mania. Day terrors.
Back to it.
Invasive element!
night with sweet dreams. You're gonna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. More interlude, additional ailments include
Chronic itch. Impotence. Night sweats.
For our beneficent leader.
Flatulation. Lumbago. Mild days. General malaise. Imbalanced humors. Dyspepsia. Oh, and one more thing. Insomnia.
You're gonna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. Just rest your tired head with the sedative, you'll feel dead. Sleep tight with sweet dreams. You wanna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. Just rest your tired head with the sedative, you'll feel dead. Sleep tight with sweet dreams.
That popular favorite was requested by Carlson Fidel, thinking of their family in Halcyon. Let's hope our War of Liberation brings the brave employees of said colony the products they need to survive in time. This is for anyone out there who just lost out on a big promotion. Keep your chin up. Next time.
The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases flexibility, stifles chain of symmetry.
Aggressor at hand.
Relax for success, no rum.
Collective cognitive compliance is a key.
When it's time for a cocktail, no rum will help you set sail. Problems fade into the sunset. No rum will help you forget. We're God's bed of you need a neck of anesthetic. No rum tastes more and feel less. No rum, no worries, no stress. No rum, relax for success. No rum.
Prosecuting! Viscerally!
Like a workplace promotion. Where it's safe to be barefoot in the sand, while holding a bottle of dumb rum tied in your hand. Ain't life grand? Tranquilization, so sweet and swift. Still be on time for your next shift. Num rum, taste more and feel less. Num rum, no worries, no stress. Num rum, relax for success. Num rum, num rum, taste more and feel less. Num rum, no worries, no stress. Num rum, relax for success. Num rum.
Run, don't walk to spend your hard-earned bits on these quality Auntie's goods or services. Our Iffy Jiffy mail order division informs it is now offering the Pen Pharmacon 5 walk-in industrial macrowave. Originally developed for secretive research laboratories for purposes we may only guess at, the Pen Pharmacon 5 is now available to you, the unremarkable everyday consumer. Step inside and let electromagnetic waves bathe over you, exciting your molecules and curing such ailments as sciatica, narcolepsy, rickets, night sweats, and collectivism. Not recommended for longer than 1 second at a time. Not responsible for temporary or permanent damage to eyes, teeth, skin, or general lifespan. Ask your doctor if a walk-in industrial macrowave is right for you.
Fine, fine. Let us proceed.
This one goes out to all those aspiring to climb the rungs of their department. May you ascend swiftly through talent or guile.
Overseen by head refresher Gould, the top cognitive divider responsible for making the mental refreshing process more refreshing than ever.
That's you and there's no doubt. That's right. Won't keep you down and out. Sweet success, revenge. Raise your spirits high with liquid confidence. You know. Good time.
Parasite identified.
Not be stopped.
Supposed to shoot you.
Stray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed? Come in, come right here, and be refreshed.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to
From the boardroom to the bottom rung, this is Wireless Free Arcadia, official frequency of Auntie's Choice.
Salutations, Arcadia. Auntie Cleo here with a direct message to all protectorate subjects listening in. I'm afraid you've been fed a lot of hooey about all of us at Auntie's Choice. Your so-called superiors would have you believe we're unscrupulous interlopers.
Realign with
The
the
very
paradigm.
bread off your
Shed
plate.
all manner of-
Tut tut! No, nothing could be farther from the truth. Listen to your auntie. They say they offer you direction, meaning, purpose. They say that's a fancy way of stating you're their slave. They say you're part of a community. We say you're just part of the herd. At Auntie's Choice, we respect
That was a nice tap on the old brain pan.
spreading free trade and self-betterment throughout the galaxy. As the head of our corporation, I'm here to tell you personally, it's never too late to rebrand and start anew.
Greetings, subject. Or should I say, refreshed to be.
Auntie's Choice.
We're never more content. Never more content.
Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in then. Wonderful. Once you're...
That doe-eyed expression, those ambling sentences.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment. Why, of course. Naturally. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal.
All the tastiest parts. Ears to hocks and rears to tits. Efficient meals means we make more things.
Simply step over to my auto-mechanical colleague to my left, slap.
It's not the worst unless it's worst. Oh, worst.
Greetings, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Welditarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective. Incorrect, but your response has merited a yay-sayer verbal commendation for exceptional tactfulness in the field, allowing you partial credit. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually. Each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead.
Nothing like an instant, soft serving of feral pork paste to boost productivity to full burn in those small hours. All right, enough yapping. Time is bits. Back to the factory floor. From snap to tail, it's all included. It ain't the worst till it's extruded. From factory vats
Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief? Unacceptable. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you? Unsatisfactory response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 150 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful Protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Hazardous to our existence. Two conflicting philosophies that we can capitalize on.
Trust me, relay the particularity does one.
While we analyze the situation from a safe distance.
To deliberate is to court ruin.
For something a little different, tonally, if not thematically.
The following is a special selection from Antique Musical, the all-singing dramatization of Auntie's inspirational origins.
The other day, I stumbled into the right-wrong left on the ACS.
They would deem my resolve inadequate? Insanity! Their analysis procedure is clearly faulty.
You have a look of query about you. Hello. My name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm. It is the duty of all Protectorate subjects to regularly converse with our neighbors, so we may determine if their zeal has wavered. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric peaks are all abraded.
Comply together
Pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Notions are a gateway to mayhem, bedlam, turmoil, and vexation. Thinking never made anybody happy. I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question. Drat! There, did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it? Right as rain, neighbor. Never more content. I only experience approved emotions. Doubt and worry are notably unsanctioned. Head refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Why, it's right outside Head Refresher Gould's office. He'll schedule you an appointment. Just follow the signs to the lecture hall.
Others are not.
Only internally, I'm afraid. You should refresh.
The right multi-spectrum antibiotics for wildlife interactions gone wrong.
A perfect society demands perfect thoughts.
And defended.
I'm freezing my assets off on Cloister.
Their team plays the worst anyone has ever played. Our first back is perfect. Our pitch ball is what? Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon.
Overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
I make all songs about the paradigm abiders. Folks tend to get rather sore about it. The original version's about being a good protectorate subject and turning in your neighbor if they lack zeal or think thoughts and such. In my case, my daughter reported me. They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try.
Staff tell me an ice moon would be so cold.
It is the duty of every protectorate
Wait, I just blinked several times, didn't I? What did that signify? I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say. May you realign. Oh,
Let's
hello.
move on to liquidation. Probably the most valuable part of an ursopod is its teeth. Durable, all-purpose, and
Your siren, right as rain. Right as rain.
much else worth leveraging from these creatures. Sure, you can scoop up their thinking parts, sell it for scrap, or break it down for biomass. Do not eat. That should go without saying.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Don't forget, your unthinking compliance lets the paradigm run with flawless efficiency. Unthinking is essential.
As concluded for today, medicament dispensary.
Tomorrow.
As concluded for today.
Unthink
Please
forever.
proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters
Notions are a
Wellnetarium
gateway
here on
to
Prater
mayhem,
is uniquely
bedlam,
special.
turmoil, and vexation.
By Head Refresh. Gould. Top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
Our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss, and anarchy. It is a sad fact that all human beings require direction. As my good friend the Consul would say, at its base, humanity unguided is craving.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today?
The Consul is the firm hand that guides us. Mental refreshment keeps us on task, free from doubt.
Noting dire self-diagnosis and ably displaying concern. My word. Inform the nearest refreshment facilitator without delay to book you a session in the Lathe Medicament Dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which farewell statement may refreshment.
Malefactor ahead. Suspicion rightly so.
Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Serve the sovereign. Breaking for cover!
Influences confirmed.
top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
Stand ready. Our foes are close. To battle!
Commencing combat! Hastening to Turn the console.
I'm losing. Weapon prime.
I shall not stay your execution. Mediating! Recoming! Unleash my might upon them!
You've gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
At all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system.
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive. Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions. Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer! Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended. Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Could have sworn no one was due for hours. Wherever is your chart? Wait, you're not a patient. You're not even a protectorate subject, are you? I see it now. You possess the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
By his garb and self-important demeanor, this would be Mental Refreshment's lead scientist. He's an unusual sort. Be on your guard.
Well, out with it. Who are you? Such a brazen display of derision of protectorate ways. How unexpected. How provocative. This presents a rare opportunity to hone my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. For one of our adversaries, I'm sure. I have a proposal for you. I'll provide you what you wish if you debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology in a reasonably competent manner. There's a good sport. Do try to keep up. So, what of the Order, our former allies? Those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation. What say you of them? What I may find personally satisfying is irrelevant. I think first of my community. Thought is an affliction to the base cog. Rampant, unrestrained rumination leads nowhere pretty. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? Yes, I've seen the craters left in their wake. They're quite capable as far as looting and destruction go. I'm not sure I perceive the merit in that, though. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. Sounds very nice now, doesn't it? The demands of the body and mind are an unnecessary burden in the Protectorate. Perhaps you'll consider a brief stint in the lathe of particularity once we're done here? Quick little tune-up and you'll feel right as rain. are we to debate the nature of self now? Of identity? Let's stay on topic. I admit I've never submitted myself to the lathe of particularity, but I'm sure it would be like a light, pleasant misting of the mind. I am certain I would return unchanged. Well, admit I assumed this conversation would be more engaging. Did you have any final points you'd like to make? As a, last chance to distinguish yourself? Her opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries, and those of us who enact vision, who make it real. All right, fair enough. In that little battle of wits, one of us proved severely outmatched, and I'm not sure you're completely aware of which of us I'm referring to. I am deeply disappointed by your lack of intellectual prowess, though ultimately I'm not wholly surprised.
Advance!
Now somebody get influences.
I'm on.
Supports the system. Breaking for cover.
Unfriendly company.
Invasive elements! Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Why, I'm his attendant, of course. I have seen to the Sovereign's personal needs since he was a mere, but of course vibrant and robust, infant. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is...
My Sovereign, what have they done to you? No, and certainly not the embodiment of all that is the Protectorate. This...
Deserves what? Whatever do you mean? We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Well, after his first session, the Sovereign was noted absurd nonsense about how the Consul had betrayed him and seized power. For his own good, he had to be gently, but firmly. That all stopped after his next dip into the lathe, thank law. He's remained quite peaceful since. I'm certain he'll be back to his old self in no time. Not at all. Why should I? One who questions betrays. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. Or consider such, to even think such. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. We all will. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care as he has every day. Just...
I suppose there is nothing we can do at this juncture. Guard him well, Fel.
A right shifty-looking individual, if you ask me.
Steel yourself!
Oh, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. You must mean the lathe of particularity. You'll...
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
To deliberate is to court ruin.
Trust me. The lathe of
Your
particularity
realignment
does
with the paradigm
wonders.
begins now.
That's why mental refreshment is so important. Advertising. Eat only from the bounty of Arcadia. Stay fit.
Our commander hangs from a thread! Commander, stop dying at once! Your vitals look grim, Commander.
By law, you've done it. I cannot lie. My math placed the odds of your survival at 0.00343%. But your reputation indicates that you're reliable. Unfortunately, I am limited in forms of compensation. However, I've refined. I trust that you will find wonderful methods of deployment that will.
Let us make our way to Paradise Island at once. That scum! That miserable scum! I shall not rest until the Consul pays for his treachery and Arcadia's rightful ruler is reinstated. A protectorate led by the Consul is no protectorate at all. I fear how my fellow subjects will respond to this news. I believe that most will remain loyal to the Sovereign, but I will need to deal with those who strayed. I shall attend to that. I sincerely doubt this is the end of my thoughts related.
Not again! Gary? What in the void happened to you? You saw me try to stop him, right?
One welcome consideration.
Mediating!
At your word, I shall charge!
malefactor.
Taking unit back.
Be vanquished! Your final swift, Commander.
Time enough for figuring out why these swine betrayed me after we make the rest of them see the error of their ways. Violently.
I shall not stay to hurt, Commander. Steel yourself.
Either restore my...
According to that datapad, there was an official kill order out on me? The poor fools probably thought they were just fulfilling their duty. Damn straight they should have. If only it were that simple. It should be impossible for someone to infiltrate our communication systems, unless they somehow have our codes. This could only mean that one of our members... That's the question, isn't it? There is someone who would have tried to contact me to warn me. Someone who wouldn't have been taken in by a faked kill order. Not from him. He was different from most of these slack-jawed sprat bastards. I knew him from before. Long before the Glorious Dawn. We had a secret code we used to hide things from our parents before... Anyway, if he used that code to embed a message to me within a Dawn missive, it's strange there isn't a comm device here. Ziegler must have communicated with his cell in Golden Ridge before coming to this. I know we have camps on Cloister and Praetor, but I'm not sure of the exact locations. I'd like to try to find one. Hopefully, it will bring me that much closer to whoever it is I need to kill to put an end.
Stop right there, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly in the hopes that you will comply with his request and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price. Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to Sentinels or the Consul.
Questions of intent. Now, what shall it be, Arbiter Rao? I sent the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not arrive to aid your decision-making.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now, I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the Consul.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal.
Suffering the ignobility of retreat from my duties is as severe a crime as defection. Both of these arbiters can attest to that.
Beware what you say. These sentinels deal in trickery and subterfuge. It would be safer to kill him than to discuss his surrender. This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even—
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you. Both Arbiter Rao and Arbiter Montag were explicitly requested to return to Praetor by the Consul, alongside all other arbiters some months ago. Refusal without reason is treasonous.
And I'm sure that if we went, we would have been returned whole, neither interrogated nor mentally refreshed. As if your master's nefarious—
I've no inkling of what you speak. My only master is the Protectorate. My only agenda, the return of peace throughout Arcadia.
Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the Consul's summons.
You don't look like a scientist.
You finally, stopped scream weeping. So, that's a start. I hope this brief stopover won't start you again.
I see. It would appear I misjudged this situation after all. I must reinterpret my orders. Accosting you illegally and the subsequent punishment would be mortifying.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him. His master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties after I apprehended you.
We don't. We never should have started speaking with him in the first place. This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow Sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to arbiters? I'm not the one positing Skrull, but you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation.
Are you mad? Why do you intend to place yourself into what could readily be a trap? The Consul cannot be trusted, and this Sentinel...
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the Consul sends my way, and if there is a...
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. If you had not interrupted me, I would have committed a terrible injustice upon my brethren. If I am to be punished for my failing, I will suffer I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope.
I shall follow him out, just to That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. Yes, but never for long, and it's been many years. I also have I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time. I have several leads of my own to...
That tremendous statue is of Matriarch Alexandra Varick, founder of the Protectorate. I'm shocked the traitors haven't defaced it.
To battle!
Unfriendly company. They're mine.
For Gary! My injuries are not superficial. Hazard benefits!
That tremendous statue is of Matriarch Alexandra Varick, founder of the Protectorate. I'm shocked the traitors haven't defaced it.
To battle! Your side. Taking punitive action.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Better than overtime. I shall not stay your execution.
I used to love taking the train across Dorado, seeing the Marcasite caverns, the silence of the desolate plains. That's all that matters now.
You're now entering an active combat zone. Take all necessary precautions.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
You must keep your flock within, enough. I am loath to admit I require medical assistance. For Gary! Hazard benefits! benefits! Where's our boss?
Unleash my might upon them!
All will obey!
Rose me! These are not superficial!
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Consider that. Feel yourself.
For Gary! Line up.
moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now, that's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. I shut it down. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Past, on account of my decision. Hardly. Quite the opposite, in fact. She's one of the fine... Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the order back. I do appreciate it.
What could possibly be keeping the repair personnel so long? Oh, greetings. By any chance, did you happen to encounter the repair personnel I dispatched to Resistor Bank 2789B12? Our new JTY-1030 resistor banks are built with enough durability to suffer through a tremendous amount of misuse. But the misuse is causing moisture uptake, which causes the resistors to give off more heat. I'm sure you can observe that the problem is cyclical in nature. I don't suppose you'd be willing to aid me in fixing this? In the short term, it's wreaking havoc with the weather and causing long term. The archive would suffer irreparable damage to multiple systems. Undoubtedly, this would reduce its... I loathe that, for now, our actions may aid the... It's down in the valley just southwest of the archive. The heat has liquefied all the snow off the glass surface. It is an easy location to observe. Ursopods, Protectorate forces, rogue scrappers, blizzards, mantisaurs, maybe even Auntie's choice forces. Truly a smorgasbord. This is most appreciated. Unfortunately, I'll mark the coordinates of the resistor bank on your map. If you find him, you find the kit.
This unit is rated for extreme temperatures, like those found on Cloister. However, occasional stalling may occur.
find your proposed time frame reasonable. Unaccountably so.
But going any faster grossly increases the threat of collapse. Burying us beneath the snow benefits no one.
So long as we are operating within the statistical parameters given to us. I see absolutely no reason to delay. Pick up the pace.
Takes all sorts.
Can't talk. Calculating an inverse complex sine. Have you at least determined the cause of the avalanche?
Can't afford.
Yeah.
Time for discounts.
We're presently observing a ceasefire with anti-choice, but its duration may be subject to sudden reversal. Would hate for you to get caught in its crossfire. Gathering data on the enemy's movements and behavior. Blizzards raise the degree of difficulty, but that's our problem, not yours. Cloister has been a difficult front, and losing the archive, first to the invaders and now to the protectors. If you're looking for a way to help us out, I recommend heading to LaPlace's garden. Follow this path and you can't miss it. There were rifts since before the invasion, of course, but those were relatively stable. We had no end of its lost Newton to a bunch of rift worshippers after a rift appeared in the bridge in the archive. They were obsessed. Thankfully, the presiding bishop and the Laureate Council have the rift problem well in hand. So they say, see that giant glowing structure in the distance there? That's the archive's main entry. However, I caution you to give it a wide berth. The archive's under protectorate control, and they mean to keep it. You'll not gain access without serious military support. If your bar's that low, there's some versapods in a cave due east of here. Maybe you can work out something with them, too. They've got other strangers. Those corporatists are as like to shoot you as not. They relish violence over reason, especially if it serves their beloved bottom line. Only the finest place on this island. Words aren't sufficient to cap avalanche collapse part of the tunnel to the garden, so the safest...
Happy to chat for 0.07 seconds. Oh, time's up. Bye.
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires very little computation.
Now watching.
free to take.
Heard that rift near the archive has destabilized. Must be a sign. The Protectorate's latest. You're cleared to enter. Go on in.
Ah, Agent, I have a message for you.